Kung saan man umaabot ang ating samahan ngayong gabi ay maayos sana kayong lahat. Sana hindi kayo na-traffic. Sana ay masaya ang Easter niyo. Sana naman ay pumasok na kayo bukas kasi tapos na ang bakasyon. Kasi tapos na po ang ating mahabang break. At ito po, tonight, masaya ang ating programa dahil magse-celebrate tayo nitong buwan na ito ng 3rd anniversary ng SEAG. Isipin mo, itong munting programang ito na nag-umpisa ng pandemic ay buhay na buhay dahil po sa inyong lahat at dahil sa lahat ng guests at dahil dito sa dalawang partner ko rito na hindi ho nag-a-absent ng halos. Yung ilalim na yung lalaki dyan, hindi nag-a-absent. Yung babae, madalas mag-a-absent dyan for all the good reasons. Go, Apple! Good evening!
Yes, good evening and happy 3rd anniversary po sa ating mga Kasig Live. Maraming salamat sa patuloy niyong pagsubaybay at pagsuporta dito sa tahanan ng atletang Pilipino. Of course, tulad ng sabi ni Sir Sev, di ba ko kumpleto ang trio natin? Ang isa pa nga, hindi nag-a-absent. Pero balita ko, palipad na rin bukas. Nadine Kinita Edson, good evening.
Good evening sa inyong lahat, Sev and Apple. In this episode, we're going to be celebrating a lot of Easter eggs. Yung mga napulot natin sa Easter Sunday. And those eggs are going to be exploding because those Easter eggs will be about a lot of sports that you will all enjoy. Men's volleyball, ice hockey, boxing, basketball. Those are our topics. Those are our Easter egg prizes for you in this episode.
And speaking of prizes, syempre hindi rin mawawala ang mga papremyo natin with our trivia questions. So, ang ating mechanics, let's just quickly recap that. Meron po tayong 4 na trivia question. For the first 2 trivia questions, magkakaroon tayo ng 2 winners of 500 pesos GCash each. So, total of 4 yan. And then, third trivia question naman, 2 winners of 1,000 pesos GCash. And for our grand trivia question, 1 winner of 5,000 pesos GCash. Pero dapat susunod po kayo sa ating mechanics. Kailangan meron kayong follower badge. Makukuha niyo yan by liking and following SEAG Network social media pages. Kasama na dyan ang Facebook, Instagram, TikTok at YouTube. Then dapat may share badge po kayo. Please share our episode teaser na nakapin sa ating profile. And finally, correct answer with our hashtag for tonight. Medyo iba ang hashtag natin for tonight. It's hashtag SEAG Happy 3rd Year. So again, kung hindi pa po kayo nakafollow sa ating mga social media pages, narito po ang ating mga handles on Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, and on TikTok. Now, let's start with our trivia question number 1 kung saan 2 winners tayo ng tig 500 pesos cash. Ang tanong, anong taon naging team captain ng Signal HD Spikers si head coach Dexter Clamor? Naku, anong year nga ba? Don't worry, dahil kung hindi nyo alam, mamaya pag-uusapan natin yan. Dahil sa ating unang talakayan, pag-uusapan natin ang recent championship ng Signal HD Spikers sa 2023 Spikers Turf Open Conference. Sir Sev, the Dean, ipapakilala ko na ang ating mga guests for our first body. Of course, reclaiming the throne, we have head coach of Signal, Coach Dexter Clamor. We have outside spiker Wendell Miguel and their setter EJ Casanya. Magandang gabi and congratulations sa inyo.
Good evening po.
Good evening po. Good evening din po.
Congratulations sa inyo lahat.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you so much po. Thank you.
Unang tanong, Coach Dex, ito FB ko to, kaibigan ko to, kaya alam ko mga pinopost nito eh. Kamusta ang feeling? Oy, kaninong aso yan, ha? Coach, kamusta yung... Okay, di bale. Makainin mo kasi. Ang tawag dito, Coach,
Yes.
pagka panalo ng 15-0 sweep, alam ko may isang set na nahulog dito eh. Hindi na iwasan, ano? Alam ko yung disappointment mo noon, could have been, ano, pero who can take that away for you? Anong feeling ng team nung na-sweep yung tournament?
Well, syempre, it feels good. Redemption time, sabi nga nila. Redemption talaga. Pinagtrabahuhan namin ito. Nilaban talaga hanggang dulo. And I'm very happy na we have the championship title again.
Okay, follow up. Ito nung previous conference hindi kayo nanalo sa NU, grupo ng NU. Anong diferensya ng paglaro ng team bukod sa kasali na si EJ sa team ninyo? Anong diferensya ng diskarte mo at ng team nitong conference na ito?
Siguro itong conference mas nakuha namin yung missing link talaga dito sa team na talagang nag-shoot sa sistema namin, lalo na tong si EJ Casanya. Nung nakuha namin si EJ, sobrang laki ng difference. At the same time, yung nag-step up itong si Wendell Miguel, this conference, malaking factor talaga yon, kaya siguro nakuha namin yung championship ulit ngayong conference na ito.
Kaya nga lagi sa lahat ng timeout mo, lagi mo sinasabi, balik sa sistema, balik sa sistema. Nahalata ko yun ang sinasabi mo lagi. Apple, ikaw naman.
Yes, ako, Coach Dexter, sa'yo muna din yung unang tanong ko. Yung career mo with Signal, medyo full circle na siya kasi from being a player, team captain ng 2014, sana narinig yan ating mga viewers, team captain ng 2014.
Kailan? 2014.
14. Ayan na.
Okay.
Na, ang sagot sa
Yun ang
trivia
sagot natin.
question.
Yun ang sagot natin sa trivia question.
And then, assistant coach, and then ngayon head coach na. Coach, kung may kakatawan sa core strength ng Signal, siguro ikaw na yon. Pero meron ka ba bang pangarap na ma-achieve dito being part of the Signal team?
Yeah, sabi mo nga, actually 9 years, more than 9 years na ako sa Signal, and yun, first I'm very thankful na they have given me the trust and let me grow in this field kasi sobrang honored talaga ako na pagkatiwalaan ako ng ganito katagal. So 1/3 na ng buhay ko na offer ko na dito sa Signal. Siguro one thing na gusto ko pang makuha with Signal is to represent the country again in the International League kasi we have done it before nung 2015 sa Taiwan. I was an assistant coach and then after that nawala na. Kaya siguro yun yung gusto ko pang ma-achieve ngayon sa Signal kasi actually na-invite kami, supposed to be kami yung magre-represent ng Philippines dito sa AVC, Asian Men's Volleyball Club Championship sa Bahrain. However, hindi talaga na-shoot sa schedule and talagang ang priority talaga namin is matapos ng maayos yung conference bago siguro joining other leagues.
Sisingit na rin ako ng isang question kay Wendell. Wendell, bukod sa kampyonato, you are also named as second best outside spiker dito sa conference ito, kung saan mas maraming teams. Meron nga mga provincial teams pa na sumali. Gaano kahirap yung competition with these additional teams and gaano kasarap sa pakiramdam na at the end of the conference, meron pang additional individual award na naiuwi ka?
For me, sobrang saya din na yun. Nagulat din ako na nagkaroon nga ako ng award nung championship game. And kasi nagulat ako kasi alam ko sa sarili ko na mas marami din na talented din na players. Ayun, marami din naman deserving din sa award ko. Kaya sobrang saya ko na ako yung napili dun sa second outside spiker.
Ako naman magtatanong kay EJ. EJ, galing ka sa Navy at kumusta naman ang transition mo? Galing from a different team to now a championship team. Mukhang very smooth ang transition because yun, 15-0 record ninyo. At yung pangalawang tanong ko sa iyo is yung last game niyo against Cotabato dun sa finals. Okay, nag 5 set kayo. Nung 4th set, 30-28. Gaano kahirap yung set na yun? Kasi talagang umabot sa dulo. Tapos nung 5th set, when you clinched it, 15-7. So, can you just tell us kung anong experience in that last game against Cotabato? So, unang-una yung question ko is, natanong ko na about your transition. Pangalawa, yung last game ninyo to clinch the championship. EJ.
Nung una po talaga, nung pagpasok ko sa Signal, sobrang laking adjustment po talaga yung ginawa ko. Kasi yun nga, galing ako sa Navy Kalaban nila ako nung una. Tapos, nung kinuha nila ako, medyo parang nahihiya pa ako kasi kalaban nila ako tapos bilang naging teammate agad nila ako after season. So, ang ginawa ko lang, siguro tinanggap ko na lang agad na nasa Signal na ako. Hindi ko na lang inisip na kalaban ko sila before, ganun. And yun nga, lagi ko naman sinasabi sa kanila na dream ko talagang yung Signal noon pa. Kaya ba't pa ako mahihiya hindi ko na ako ngayon sa dream ko. And nung nasa game naman na kami nung sa Cotabato po, yung last game, yung game 2, yung 4th set, akala ko po sa amin na yung fourth set eh. Kasi lumamang pa kami nun eh. Then bilang yung Cotabato, nagkaroon sila ng momentum nung patapos na po. And nung 28, 27 ata yun, parang si Kuya Mark, kinakausap niya na ako na sa kanya ko ibigay yung bola. Tapos, nung last part doon sa fourth set, binigay ko kay Kuya Wendell instead of Kuya Mark. So, ang laki talaga ng binigay kong tiwala kay Kuya Wendell. Kasi si Kuya Mark, alam naman natin na si Kuya Mark talaga yun eh. Pero sabi ko, itatry ko kay Kuya Wendell kasi doon naman yung advantage namin. Pero hindi siya nag-effect. So, okay lang. So, sa fifth set, nag-regroup lang kami kahit na nauna yung kalaban, yung Cotabato. Nauna pa nga sila mag 2-0. I remember. Tapos, ayun, hindi kami nagpa-apekto po dun eh. Kumbaga, maintain lang po namin yung composure namin para po sa championship. And ayun, sobrang saya po sa pakiramdam kasi sobrang thankful and sobrang game changer din talaga si Kuya Wendell and si Chu nung game 2. Yun po.
Sige, EJ, habang nandito kami sa iyo, EJ, gaano kahirap mag-distribute ng bola? Puro estrella yung kasama mo, ha? Si Mark, tapos meron ka pang running na patalikod kay Peter, tapos andyan pa si Isay. Gaano kahirap? Paano ang diskarte doon? O sumusunod lang talaga sa sistema ni Coach Dex?
For me to be honest po, mahirap talaga siya kasi halos lahat ng spiker ko malakas eh. Kahit kanino ko ibigay, pupuntos po eh. Kay Kuya JP, kay Kuya Isay, Kuya Mark, Kuya Wendell, Kuya Chu, Kuya Peter. As in, po, kahit sino pong ipasok sa team namin talagang magko-contribute eh. Kaya as a setter po, siguro mas mahirap siya pero mas madali sa part namin. Kasi mas madali yung buhay namin kasi malalakas si spiker, ba tayo mahihirapan, di ba? Parang ganun. Pero sabi nga ni Coach Dex, mag-stick ka lang sa system natin. Huwag mong isipin na yung yung kung ano-anong play, ganito, ganyan. Stick ka lang sa system natin. Huwag mong isipin na hindi mo bibigyan ng bola sa kay Isay mo or what, ganito, ganyan. Basta mag-stick ka lang sa system. Ayun lang po lagi sinasabi ng coach na.
Apol, ikaw?
Ako, last question for me, baka meron pa si Dean kay Coach Dex. Coach Dex, babalikan ko yung experience mo dito sa liga. Again, being a player, assistant coach, and a head coach. Ano masasabi mo, Coach, dun sa continuous growth ng liga na eto nga for this particular conference, we have a total of 11 teams, provincial teams. Paano ba nito matutulungan din yung national team pool ng ating bansa with the competition and the quality players that we have in the conference and in the league?
Siguro sa nakikita ko kasi ngayon maraming bagong players na sumisibol. So maraming potential talaga to represent the country. Sa ligang to marami tayong nadiskubre kasi before ang mga nagiging member lang ng national team coming from the NCAA, UAAP. This time marami tayong nakukuha sa probinsya and talagang ngayon meron talaga national team na national team player ngayon galing talaga sa probinsya. So malaking bagay itong ganitong liga and I hope talagang magtuloy-tuloy. Nakikita naman natin na marami talagang sumusuporta na ngayon sa men's volleyball.
Ako naman ang last question ko also for Coach Dex. Dex, alam naman natin yung women's volleyball. Grabe ang following nila. Very, very popular. At parang second placer lang yung men's volleyball in terms of popularity. Ba't ba ganun? Ba't ba yung women's volleyball napaka-popular? At sa tingin mo ba, kung mas marami pang at dumadami pa yung mga poging player sa men's volleyball, ganun din ang popularity ng men's volleyball, mapapantay sa women's volleyball?
Actually, matagal na naming sama ng loob yan. Hindi naman sama ng loob. Parang matagal na rin namin tinanggap yan. Kasi parang it's the same scenario with basketball women eh. Diba? Yung basketball women hindi ganun ka-popular unlike basketball men. So parang tinanggap na rin namin na sa men's team, mas sikat talaga yung volleyball women. Pero yun nga, hopefully sa mga susunod na panahon, yun talaga yung target namin na somehow mas makilala pa yung men's volleyball. Maraming sigurong paraan para mas makilala pa. Like lalo na sa PBA, 'di ba? Sa PBA nag-invite sila ng mga foreign teams Diba? So, ang dami, napuno yung Philippine Arena. Siguro, ayun yung, I think, one of the recommendations siguro namin ng mga coaches. Ako personally na siguro maganda makapag-invite din ng foreign teams. And then, yun. Tingin ko maraming manonood sa men's at masisikat yung men's.
Magaling na idea yun. Another idea is maybe to mix, let's say, in one playing day, may men's team tapos may women's team para yung mga fans ng men's team ma-expose sa women, yung mga fans ng women ma-expose sa men. So, sama-sama naman. It's just one game.
Masaya yan kasi EJ, iba ang setting dun sa mga girls, ha? Iba ang gusto ni Eliza, iba ang gusto ng ibang tapo nun. Baka si Peter magtampo, hindi mo nabibigyan ng running mo. Alam mo naman yun, di ba? Pero that's a great idea. Baka naman pwede natin magawa. We'd like to thank the guys from Signal HD for coming and dropping by. Thank you very much sa inyong pagbisita. Congratulations din sa inyo at more power sa inyo. Sana masunod yung sinasabi ni Dean, magkaroon pa ng more exposure. Actually, mga laro natin sa Paco Arena noon, marami nang pumupunta eh. Pati dun sa Rizal Memorial nung finals. So maraming salamat sa inyong pagbisita dito sa SEAG Live and we look forward to your next conference. Salamat po.
Congrats, guys. Congrats.
Thank you po. Thank you.
15-0. 15-0.
Thank you.
All right. So now, time na para i-reveal yung ating answer for the first trivia question. Pero babalikan muna natin yung ating naging katanungan. We asked kung anong taon niya ba naging team captain si Coach Dexter Clamor ng Signal HD Spikers. And the correct answer is year 2014. Mamaya malalaman natin kung sino nga ba ang mga nakatamang sagot. Pero ngayon, let's move to our second trivia question kung saan 2 winners ulit tayo ng tig 500 pesos GCash. Our question is, sino ang pinakabatang miyembro sa current roster ng Philippine Men's National Ice Hockey Team? Oh, sino nga ba? Bago nyo isama or i-type ang correct answer, make sure po meron kayong follower badge, sharer badge, and of course, include our hashtag for tonight, that's SIG Happy Third Year. At huwag nyo rin po sanang kalimutan i-follow ang aming mga social media pages on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and on TikTok for more SIG Network exclusive content. Now, before we proceed to our next topic, meron muna tayong ASC now featuring Kaisen de la Serna. He is one of the brightest stars in Philippine obstacle racing, and in this feature, he talked about his passion and the unconditional love to the sport of obstacle racing. Panoorin po natin yan sa ating ASC now.
I'm super proud of it and I'm super happy because it's just nice to know that all my hard work has paid off. Before the competition, I would train extra in order to really master and perfect the obstacles. So I was actually surprised na I was able to set it again. And it was a good thing also that my teammate, Precious Kabuya, we actually got the same time, exact time. So it was really cool din kasi sakto talaga yung oras namin. So we both got the gold and we both set the world record. It's such a great opportunity to be given a chance to compete in the Southeast Asian Games because before in the Vietnam SEA Games, we weren't able to showcase our skills and we really wanted to compete. So now that we were given a chance to qualify. Actually, for the Southeast Asian Games, there's a process talaga in order to become a part of the team. So I'm happy that my teammates and we were able to really overcome the obstacles, both physically and mentally, and our obstacles in life. So sobrang happy kami na there's SEA Games again, and we can prove again that the Philippines is a strong contender of the obstacle sports. So for the 100-meter race, I would have to say the hardest would be the warped wall. So the warped wall is like, if you're familiar with American Ninja Warrior, there's the wall at the end that goes really high. So we also have like that in like our races. And that one is a bit hard for me because one, I need to work on my pulling. So when I reach up the wall, kailangan ko talaga mag-pull. And two, that's the last obstacle. So when it's the last obstacle, you're already tired, you're already feeling the muscles hurting. So it's really the last push and you really have to just go for it. I'm actually focusing on coaching kids right now. Yes. I really love kids kasi I really know how to like talk to them and I really enjoy their company. So it's so motivating for me also that the kids watch me in the race and then they're like, "Go Coach Kai." And then aside from that, they always say after, "Coach, you're really inspiring, you're really strong, and when I grow up I want to be like you." So it really like warms my heart na they really look up to me and I empower young athletes around the Philippines.
Alam mo, ako muna ha, nakatutuwa ako doon sa pangalan niya kasi sa Japanese yung kaizen means constant improvement. Always for the better. And maganda yung ganda ng aura niya sa napakahirap niyang sport, isipin mo yung tatahakin mo lahat yung obstacle niya. Kung anak ko yun, sasabihin ko, nako, Diyos ko, di ba? Pero ang tapang niya, she's inspiring other kids.
Meron pang isang Kai na magaling. Si Kai Soto. Kai G naman ang tawag sa kanya.
Hindi niya kaya yung ginagawa ni Kaizen. Yung haba niya, hindi niya kayang tawirin yung ang gulo mo kinito. Sige na, Apple, sino susunod?
Very interesting yung obstacle racing. We hope to have Kaisen live on the show next time to talk more about obstacle racing. Pero ngayon, ang pag-uusapan muna natin ay ang ating Philippine Ice Hockey Team. Their World Championships debut. We have on the show Julio Santiago, Jan Sotyong, and Ain Zenaham. Good evening, gentlemen. Thank you for joining us this evening. At I like it. Naka-uniform.
Another reason to celebrate.
Apple, ikaw ng first question.
Okay, so the obvious question is that, alam naman natin wala tayong winter dito sa Pilipinas. So, kamusta? Paano yung preparation for the ice hockey tournament? How do you become good at something na hindi tayo very familiar with that kind of environment dito sa Pilipinas? Anyone?
Okay, I'll start. Kasi we actually train in Mall of Asia, MOA skating rink, and it's built naman for hockey, for Olympic hockey size siya. So that's where we practice, and we also have in Mega Mall, but sa Mall of Asia talaga kami nagpa-practice kasi yung ice doon mas maganda and yung boards good for hitting and yung sa pucks, and there's a lot of mas maganda yung rink talaga doon compared to the one sa Mega Mall. Pero yun lang yung rink here sa Philippines actually na nagde-train kami.
Pag-usapan naman natin yung pagkapanalo ninyo sa Mongolia. So you beat Indonesia and you beat Kuwait, you beat the host nation Mongolia, and that was via a 7-6 overtime victory. Maybe Einzen, if you can share with us your experience in that championships. Division 4 ito ng World Championships, and does this mean that we are now promoted to Division 3? Einzen.
So we are promoted to Division 3B now, but like it was challenging to go against Mongolia since they were a really tough opponent, since they are like team working and like physical a lot. So, but we still managed to win it because we believed in each other. So, yeah.
Sinong susunod na sasagot?
Ako, may follow-up question ako.
Okay, go ahead. Biglang moment
si
of
Jan
silence.
naman.
Biglang
Jan, I
tumayo.
want to be able to ask Jan this question. Okay, 2017 and 2019 sa SEA Games, nagkaroon ng ice hockey competition. Pero since then, wala. And this coming Southeast Asian Games, wala na naman. Pero may field hockey and indoor hockey. So you guys are experts in ice hockey. Do you guys cross over to play field or indoor hockey? To make life interesting since wala naman ice hockey sa darating na SEA Games, Jan?
Well, some of us like to do others. Like some of us can play floorball, indoor hockey. I think there's also underwater hockey. But for the most part, to my knowledge, majority of the men's team that participated in this tournament doesn't really do any of that. They don't do indoor hockey. They usually do like maybe rollerblading, if you know what that is. It's we wear rollerblades, we use a stick and gloves, and we just skate around. That's kind of it. We don't really go other
Jan,
sports.
How far is the Philippines from even imagining to qualify to compete in ice hockey in the Winter Olympics?
I'd say it's not that far, If
All right.
we work hard enough, we grow the sport. In the country, we get more kids in skates. I can see it's achievable. We can get there.
Okay. Question for all three. Were you inspired by the Mighty Ducks? Or what inspired you to take up this sport? Which, di ba, normally, wala naman tayong winter dito. All three can answer. Did the movie Mighty Ducks play a role in your playing? Yes or no? Doesn't matter. Guys?
For me, no. Kasi actually, a lot of people asked us that question ever since before. And not really. It's not really the most inspiring. Yeah, I guess for kids. Pero madami ring ibang movies that you can actually watch.
Yeah, like Miracle, di ba?
Yeah.
Miracle.
And we have Goon also for, the more parang real image of hockey kasi it's a bit violent talaga. So
yes, it is.
Medyo yung Mighty Ducks medyo cute pa
Okay. Apple?
Yes, ako, a follow-up question on Julius. Julius, medyo malawak the age range for the national team from Gian Pietro Isepi, your goaltender at 40 years old, to the youngest. Correct me if I'm wrong, that's Dan Carlo Pastrana, a defender, 17 years old. That's like a 23 years difference. Kung tama yung math ko. Is this normal having this age range, and how does it affect the dynamics of the team?
Honestly, it doesn't really matter kasi as long as you're good, yung coaches naman namin, they know who to pick sa national team as long as you're qualified. Kahit payat ka or kahit maliit, you can still play hockey. Parang I think people think na you have to be big or tall, to play ice hockey. But in reality, anyone can play as long as you know how to skate, you know how to take a hit, how to hit properly. And yun nga, yung sa age range namin, yun yung problem with the younger kids. They're smaller, in comparison to the older guys. But we all play the same skill level naman. So it's not a problem. But syempre, we have sa internal team na lang, of course, yung mga bata mas magkakasama compared to the older guys. It's not really a problem, but it's just, the I guess issue, if you will. But other than that, wala naman.
Okay. The obvious question is, if there were young boys and girls who were interested in learning this sport, which is very common in Canada, in Europe, in the United States as a young child sport, what's the process? Where do I bring my granddaughter or my son, or where can we go? Anybody can answer.
So specifically here, like in the Philippines, we have learn to play programs. Usually they're on Sundays around 9 a.m. It's paid, but then I think they're working on like a bundle for that. So just message or hit up Hockey Philippines on Facebook.
Okay.
And that's where they usually post the schedules for the learn to play, how much it is, the bundles, and what we're really gonna do there. So that's the first step. And then once the kids already know the basics, they can then distribute themselves amongst the 3 current clubs that we have, and then that's for their further development.
Okay, great.
Meron sana akong pahabol na
Dito,
question.
go. Sige.
Einzen, do you follow the National Hockey League? And do you have any particular idols? My other question is, are there any Phil foreigners who are playing in the NHL? And, you know, we've heard of names like Bobby Orr, Wayne Gretzky, the Gordie Howe and his sons. Who are your particular idols in hockey? Anyone has inspired you to take this sport seriously, Einzen?
Well, I have a lot of idols like from NHL, but I rather stick with the ones in our team, like our men's players, the seniors, like Julius and EJ, Steven Fuglister, and even the others. They inspired me to train hard and stay happy with my teammates and always have fun then.
The teammates are smiling while you were saying that. Okay.
That's
Felix
nice.
Julius.
That's nice.
Okay.
Good answer.
Okay. Okay. So, gentlemen, we'd like to thank you for dropping by. We'd like to congratulate you. You have a last question. May pahabol ka? Go, go, go.
No, may request lang ako if these Champions League gentlemen can show us their medals naman because I believe they're wearing...
Taas yun. Yan.
Yes, we want to see. Wow.
Oh, so that's what it looks like. Wow, again, congratulations.
Yeah, congratulations.
Thank you.
Etched in ice. With fire and ice, with
Yeah.
passion from these guys. Okay, congratulations. And we look forward to seeing you and having more of your accomplishments discussed here in our program. Maraming salamat.
Thank
and
you.
Congrats,
power.
guys.
Thank you.
Congrats.
Thank you, Rush. Thank you.
We'll do our best.
Go,
Thank
go,
you
go.
very much. So, mabuhay kayong tatlo. Okay, ayun, we learned something about ice hockey. Ayun, Apple, next sport mo, ice hockey.
Pwede. Naku, pwede. Siguro
After
yan.
your success in the All-Stars, pwedeng ice hockey. Aral ka muna ng skating. Yun ang una mong pag-aral.
Uy, marunong ako mag-skating. Nung
Uy.
bata ako, lagi ako nasa SM Mega Mall ice skating.
Uy.
Pero ito muna tayo. Sagutin muna natin ang ating second trivia question. Our question was, sino ang pinakabatang miyembro sa current roster ng Philippine Men's National Ice Hockey Team? At kung nakinig kayo mabuti sa akin kanina, the correct answer is si Dan Carlo Pastrana, 17 years old, born May 9, 2005. So again, sa mga makatamang sagot at sumunod sa ating mechanics, dalawa pong winners ng tig 500 pesos GCash ang i-announce natin for our trivia question number 2. Ngayon, talon tayo sa trivia question number 4 kasi, 3 pa lang pala. 3. Dahil 2 winners naman ng tig 1,000 pesos GCash ang mananalo for this question. Our question is, sino ang first non-Filipino opponent ni Marlon Tapales? If you know the correct answer, comment down below with the official hashtag SEAG. Happy 3rd year. Make sure lang po you have follower badge and sharer badge. And again, paulit-ulit ko po kayong aanyayahan na i-follow po ang ating social media pages for exclusive content to see, know, and watch your favorite national athletes. Facebook, Instagram, to TikTok, and on YouTube. Now, break lang po tayo saglit para sa ating SEG Sports Bit before we talk about boxing. Dahil at this point, kikilalanin po natin ng mas malalim ang Gilas Pilipinas Women's National Team player na si Sofia Roman.
Hey guys, it's Sofia Roman from Gilas Pilipinas Women, and this is Sportify. Threes are mid-range threes because that could be the difference between a game win or loss. It's an old one, but Goran Dragic. Miami Heat Goran Dragic. Oh, I don't know. There's so many. Okay, Kelsey Plum. Just love her swag, and she's so efficient on the court. Dream purchase? A house. A house with a lot of rooms and bathrooms so I can have my family there. Favorite vacation place? The Philippines, because you literally can get the city and the beach in one. If I wasn't playing basketball, I would definitely be in some sort of basketball gig, volunteering, coaching, whatever it is, and also content creating, because that's what I do. All right, guys, thanks for joining me here. This is Sophia Roman from Sportify. Hey guys, it's Sophia Roman from Gilas Pilipinas, and this is Sportify.
Alam niyo silang masasabi ko, yung mga atleta nating female athletes na featured ngayon, hindi na sila magagaling, magaganda pa sila, ha?
Oo naman, totoo naman yan. Okay, so ano next topic natin? Nasaan na tayo? Boxing na ba yung susunod?
Paborito ni Dadine, boxing na ang ating pag-uusapan, and our topic is ang pinakabagong Pinoy boxing champion na si Marlon Tapales. Nakakapanalo lang sa San Antonio, Texas. Dadine, unfortunately, we don't have you on the show, and I know you know the reason why.
That's right. It's 5:30 in the morning in Las Vegas, and they took a 10:45 flight out of San Antonio kahapon. That would be San Antonio time. So they landed in Las Vegas. It's now 5:30 in the morning done. So medyo mahirap natin punin si Marlon Tapales now. But we'll try to do a very quick wrap-up kung ano nangyari, because our next guest is very, very special, and we're excited to talk to him. Sabihin ba natin kung sino na? Okay, let's sabihin na natin. Barangay Ginebra head coach Tim Cone is going to be with us. So let's do this very quickly. Talking about Marlon Tapales, he's now the newly crowned Super WBA and IBF Super Bantamweight champion. At pinanalo niya these two belts against the Uzbekistan undefeated fighter si Murodjon Akhmadaliev via a 12-round split decision, and the decision was very close. In fact, the three judges scored the last 4 rounds in unison for Murodjon, but si Marlon Tapales was determined, and he was ready to get the job done. I thought his stamina helped him survive the late assault of Murodjon, and he won a split decision to win 2 belts, not 1 but 2 belts. So we now have 2 world champions who are Filipinos, si Melvin Jerusalem, the WBO minimum weight champion, and now si Marlon Tapales. Congratulations to Marlon and his entire team.
Kinito itong kalaban ni Tapales, ito ay lumaban sa Olympics at sa World Championship, di ba?
Yes, 2016 bronze medalist si Murodjon. Pero si Marlon Tapales, his history and his love for boxing has transcended, everything in his life. Last June, he got married to his longtime girlfriend, JV. That was a 2-year wait to get married because of the pandemic. He got married in June. In September, he flew out to Los Angeles to already prepare for this fight against Murodjon. This fight has been postponed 3 times. He has waited over a year for the chance to fight Murodjon. It finally happened in San Antonio, Texas over the weekend. And Marlon Tapales will be back in Manila on April 17. He will enjoy his vacation, and then he's going to be ready to challenge the winner of the upcoming double championship fight between Stephen Fulton and Naoya Inoue. That's going to be a big one. Si Tapales is going to fight the winner of that fight, and it will be not just for 2 belts, but it will be for 4 belts, because Fulton versus Inoue will determine the champion of WBC and WBO. So nakuha na ni Tapales yung WBA at saka IBF. So the winner of that ultimate showdown will be the undisputed Super Bantamweight champion. Be the first time a Filipino will be holding, if he wins, an undisputed champion. So big congratulations to Marlon Tapales for what he has done. The sacrifice that he did to be away from his family, be away from his wife, and they also have a child. But he's been in the States in September, finally getting the job done. And the opportunity came. He did let go of this golden chance to win not 1, but 2 world championships.
Yung mga pag tinatanong mo si Kinito, walang period, puro kama Puro kama
Tsaka semicolon.
Semicolon at saka
sandali, meron ako nakalimutan. The very first foreign opponent. Yan, ito, sasabihin ko na, the very first foreign opponent ni Marlon Tapales that happened in Las Vegas in 2011. Nakalaban niya isang Meksikano. Ang pangalan, Alejandro Solorio. Alejandro Solorio. So yung pong isasagot nyo sa question na tinanong kanina ni Apple David.
Amerikano, Meksikano, Amerikano.
Meksikano yun.
Meksikano.
Very
By
first
the way,
foreign
yun
opponent.
din pala ang first out of the country fight ni
Yes, that's
Marlon.
right.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Sige. So, Apple, diretso na tayo kasi yung isang guest natin, waiting in the wings na. Ready na tayo sa kanya. Bigay mo
Okay.
na yung answer, tapos yung next question natin.
Okay, so very quickly, let's go back to our third trivia question. We asked kung sino nga ba ang first non-Filipino opponent ni Marlon Tapales, and the correct answer, tulad ng sabi ni the Dean, May 6, 2011, si Alejandro Solorio. That happened in Las Vegas, Nevada. So for our final trivia question, again, one winner of 5,000 pesos GCash. Grand trivia question natin. The question is, ilang conference titles na ang napanalunan ni Coach Tim Cone mula nang maging head coach siya ng Barangay Ginebra? Again, ilang conference titles na ang napanalunan ni Coach Tim Cone simula naging head coach siya ng Barangay Ginebra? All you have to do is type in the correct answer with our hashtag SEAG Happy Third Year, and make sure you have your follower badge and your sharer badge, and that you already followed our social media pages on our different social media account. So ito, pipitinin ko lang kayo ng konting-konti pa dahil para sa pinakahuling SEAG Sports Bet natin, panalo po sa Game 1 of the finals ng PBA Governors Cup ang Barangay Ginebra sa score na 102-90 kontra TNT Tropang Giga. At abangan nyo po sa April 12, that's on Wednesday, Game 2 of the finals. It's still gonna be at the Smart Araneta Coliseum. Makakatabla kaya ang TNT o tutuloy ang winning streak ng Barangay Ginebra? And now, again, we have Coach Tim Cone of Barangay Ginebra on the show. Kaya naman, let's bring him in. Good evening, Coach Tim, and congratulations on that Game 1 win.
Okay.
Thank you.
Hello.
It's fun to be on the show. You hear me?
I'll have the first two questions because Kinito has 100 questions. First, Tim, have we said goodbye already to the shirt and tie as far as the uniform of a coach team coaching staff is concerned? Is that gone?
Yeah, I think so, Sam. I think so. It's kind of gone out of fashion. It's not the
coming from you.
Even if you look at the NBA, they're not wearing suits anymore or ties. And I think I just kind of finally gave in to my coaching staff. They hated wearing ties and having to do all that stuff all the time and have to shop for it. And so I just kind of gave in to them and said, okay, let's try it out. And it's been comfortable. I have to admit, it's been comfortable the way we are now. And I like the black shirts, and so I think it's going to stay for a while at least.
Okay. And because I know you've always said that you wore the shirt and tie because it was like going to work, I remember.
Yes, that was really the point of it all.
Yeah. The second question is, you like to use the word battle. Did you battle last night at 54-52? They were getting in close, but then you pulled away again. Was it as easy as it looked on television last night?
Oh, geez, no. It's never as easy as it looks. There was some real anxious moments because they are a team who is so explosive. They start hitting shots from the perimeter. The game can change in a heartbeat. When we played them in the eliminations, even at halftime, we said this game was very reminiscent of the game we played in the eliminations, where we led the whole way, and then in the middle of the fourth quarter, they just started hitting shots and causing turnovers, and the game flipped so quickly, and suddenly we lost by like 6 or 8 points, and we were up, I think, 16 points in that game. So yeah, there were a lot of anxious moments last night, and I think our guys were alert to the idea that they could come back on us quickly. So they kept their focus well, they kept their poise.
Okay, Apple?
Yes, Coach Tim, good evening. You're coming off an 11-day break after sweeping the playoffs. Could you share with us, how did you make use of that long break and the way your players played in game one, did it turn out the way you expected it to be?
Well, we tried to find a good balance between making sure the guys don't get worn down, and 'cause that's something you can actually overwork guys when you have a lot of extra time, and so we wanted to keep them fresh, but on the other hand, we wanted to keep them sharp, and those are kind of contrasting things. To keep them sharp, you got to work them hard, and to keep them fresh, you got to make sure they're getting enough break and recovery. So we were trying to find that balance, but you never really know whether you're reaching that balance or not. And you're hoping that you're doing the right thing, but you don't really know. So when we went into the game, I was a little bit hesitant. I honestly, and I was in the locker room while the players went out to warm up. I was talking to the staff and I was saying, gee, I don't know if this team is ready or not. And lo and behold, Justin was certainly ready. He came out and hit his first 5 3-pointers, and but we were saying during timeouts, we can't live off those 3-pointers of Justin. We got to get more than that, and especially in the second half, the guys really stepped up around Justin.
And Coach Tim, for the record, if you could still remember, I know you've won a lot of conference titles, but how many titles have you won with Barangay Ginebra?
Let's see. I think 7. We've won 7 because we won 5 with Pure Foods with San Mig Coffee, and we won 7 with Ginebra. So we're working for our 8.
Yeah, as if he's not counting.
Yeah.
Okay.
Coach Tim Cohn already
I
has
had to think about it
25
for a moment.
championships. And
Kinito, go.
Ginebra as a franchise has won 15 championships, 7 of those coming with Coach Tim. Coach, talking about game 1 of the finals, entering that game 1, TNT, #1 offensive team in the league, averaging 115.9 points. You held them to 90 points in game #1. Was that a conscious effort on your part to emphasize defense?
Well, us, we always try to emphasize defense. We always talk about being a defensive team first, and we want to start the game with a defensive mindset. And that's really a part of I like to believe our culture. But the Talking Techs, if you've studied them closely throughout the whole conference, they have become, as the conference has gone along, they've become much more defensive oriented, and I think that's a part of JoJo's influence in that. And they're not playing with quite the same abandon that they have played. They have brought a little bit more balance to the game, and I thought they defended well against us last night, except for Justin's incredible shooting performance from the 3-point line. They defended us extremely well. We had a hard time executing a lot of what we wanted to execute, and but they just didn't. I'm not sure it was as much our defense as the fact that they just didn't make shots. Pogoy didn't get started. Jason didn't get started, and so when you can hold those 2 guys down a little bit, that holds their scoring down. So can we do that throughout the series? Doubtful. As I said, I think there's going to be 1 or 2 or maybe 3 games in this series where they're just going to shoot totally lights out, and there's not going to be a lot that we can do about it. We're just going to have to see, using the word, we're going to have to battle and see if we can stay in the game and try to win it at the end. But they're a great shooting team, and they just didn't shoot well in game 1.
Well, Coach Tim, in the 4th period, when Justin Brownlee picked up his 4th personal foul, you sat him down for 3 minutes and 41 seconds. When he sat on the bench, Ginebra was ahead by 9. When he came back to the game, Ginebra was ahead by 15. And prior to that, you had 3 18-point leads. You had 2 reserves on the floor. You know that you like to say that Stanley Pringle isn't really a reserve. He's really more like a starter. But Pringle and Mariano were on the floor at that time when you made your surge, while Justin Brownlee sat on the bench. What does that tell you about the bench strength of Barangay Ginebra, because everybody is saying that you're playing heavy minutes on your starters. But when your bench is there and they were ready to play, Justin Brownlee, it was a luxury that when he came back, you were up by 15. Can you comment on that?
Well, we are playing a lot on our starters. I think everyone has to remember that we don't have two of our mainstays in Japeth and LA. So that has kind of shortened our rotation a little bit. Normally we go about 8, 9, even 10 deep, but you take those two guys out of the equation. Now you're talking about, 6 or 7, maybe 8-man deep. And that's a big loss for us. And so we put a big burden on the starters to carry heavier minutes. So anytime we can get something from an Aljon or Von Pesomal or someone like that coming off the bench, that's absolutely huge for us. We expect that from Stanley. Stanley's going to go out and get his numbers. If he plays, 10 minutes, he's going to get his numbers. He plays 20 minutes, he's going to get his numbers. I mean, he's explosive and can score in bunches. So, that's not really an issue for us. But when we can get something from the guys that are a little bit deeper, like Aljon and Vaughn and maybe a Sidney Onreberry or, of course, a Nards Pinto, then, that's huge for us. And we really try to make those guys understand how important they are to our success.
My last question, Jimmy, if I may. Christian Stenhardiger has been playing outstanding basketball, and he has been filling in for Japeth Aguilar. But when Japeth comes back, and it looks like he may be coming back sometime during the finals, will it change the chemistry of the team, since Christian has been taking a lot of shots and he's been doing so well? Maybe just an update on Japeth's possible return.
Well, Japeth is day to day. We try to evaluate him every day to see if he can come back in. He's not going to be able to come in and play 30 minutes a game right away. He's going to be on a minute restriction even when he comes in. He'll probably be around 12 minutes or 10 or 12 minutes in the first game that he plays. And if that works out, then maybe we'll extend it out to maybe 15 to 18 as he continues to test himself. So it's going to take a while for him to get back to normal minutes. So anything that he can give us and any break that he can give Christian is going to be huge. Right now, we're trying to find a way to keep Christian or Justin on the floor at all times. So basically, when one goes out, one stays on the floor. When the other one goes out, the other one comes back on the floor. So if you could add Japeth to that mix, that takes a lot of pressure off us.
Coach Tim, I want to ask about Jamie Malonzo and Jeremiah Gray, two relatively new and young players to the team. If you could talk about the growth in their game since coming to Ginebra and the impact they're making this conference with Ginebra.
Good question. Yeah, the impact is unmeasurable. I mean, Jamie has changed the way we played. We can pitch the ball forward and get it out in transition. He is so quick down the floor that adds another dimension to what we've been in the past. We've been kind of a half-court slow-down kind of team, but he really pushes the tempo for us, and we're always looking ahead for him. And then Maya had a tough shooting night last night. He was, I think, 2 for 16. But he could easily come out the next night and be 14 for 16. I mean, he's just that kind of player. He's a gunner. He's a rhythm shooter. When he gets his rhythm, he's going to knock down shots. And the length that both of them supply, Jamie's length and height. And what I mean by length is his height and their way they're able to stretch their hands out and be long. Between him and Maya, they both have great length, and I think that really adds to our defensive side of the floor, because it's hard for the smaller guards to penetrate those two guys because they play really quick and long. And So if you're going against guys who are 6'2", 6'1", and these guys are 6'5", 6'6", 6'7", it really gives us a decided advantage on the defensive side.
I will ask one last question before Kinito asks the last question, because look at that smile. He has a last question. What does it feel like, Tim, seeing Jojo when you stand there across the other side? You see Jojo, who used to be alongside you for all those years in last. What does it feel like? I was thinking about that last night.
Well, it's actually hard to talk a little bit about JoJo because there's such a connection between ourselves, and here we are complimenting each other, and then we get on the floor and we're like tearing each other's throats out. It's kind of weird, and I think people have tried to make it a little bit about us, and I think he and I will both agree it's not about us at all. When we're out there, we're not looking at the other side of the floor, and he's not looking at me, and I'm not looking at him. We're watching the game, and we're watching our players and watching the other players. It's going to be decided not by JoJo and me. It's going to be decided by, the guys on the floor, and it's on us to try to prepare them so that they can play their best. But they're the ones that are going to decide it, not JoJo and I.
Okay, we understand perfectly, but you have to forgive us. We're getting a big kick out of it. Okay, Kinito, go ahead. Final questions.
No more questions from me, but I just wanted to take this opportunity to say thank you to Coach Tim. We promised you only 10 minutes, but I know we've overextended ourselves once again. But we also know how tired you are and that you've been working a lot of hours preparing for the final. So a big thank you, Coach Tim, for always giving us the privilege and the honor of hosting you on this show and other shows where we have you as a guest. So thank you very much, Coach Tim.
Well, it's my honor that you call me all the time, Kinito.
Don't get Tim Cone started. He doesn't look at the clock once he starts talking basketball.
I just want to say one thing about Seb. You and I actually work. People don't realize that you and I worked in the PBA, commentating the games way before I even started coaching. So, I mean, that's quite a story just in itself, and the history that you and I have. I remember trying to start a TV show program with you.
Yeah,
I mean, we just have a great history. So it's always fun to be out there talking with you, Seb. And of course, Kinito, you're the man. You always have been. And you Apple, you got to come to our practice and show our guys how to shoot threes.
Yeah, I think so. Okay, again, we'd like to thank Coach Tim Cone for being such a generous guest. Maraming salamat, Coach, and have a pleasant evening. Good night.
Thank you. Thanks so much, Coach Tim. Thank you, and the best of luck in the finals.
Thank you.
Okay. So, Apple, time to wrap up with the final answer of our trivia question for tonight.
Yes, for our grand trivia question, tinanong po natin ang ating mga viewers kung ilang conference titles na nga ba ang napanalunan ni Coach Tim Cone mula na maging head coach siya ng Barangay Ginebra. And straight from Coach Tim Cone, he won seven conference titles with Ginebra. Magiging 8 ba? Malalaman natin. You have to watch out for the 47th season of the PBA Governors Cup Finals. Again, game 2 po on Wednesday. And with that, ipopost po natin lahat ng ating winners on our Facebook page, that is on SEAG Network. So make sure po to check and follow SEAG Network. Again, we will post all winners on our Facebook page and other social media players, and wait for our representative to reach out and let you know how to claim your prizes.
Okay.
And that's it.
Sige, ang parting shot natin dahil third year anniversary ng ating program this month. Let's start with Apple, tapos si Kinita, then I'll just say wrap it up for everybody. Apple, ikaw muna.
Okay, of course, gusto ko muling batiin tayong lahat dito sa SEAG Network ng happy 3rd anniversary. That's gonna be on April 18 to be exact. Happy anniversary po sa ating lahat. Ang bilis ng panahon, grabe, 3 years na pala. We had so many episodes. I think we're supposed to pick at least one memorable episode or guess. Medyo mahirap ata yun kasi every episode gives us a new experience, a different experience, getting to know our athletes, celebrating victories, even some of the losses or yung mga setbacks ng ating mga atleta. We talk about it here. We continue to support them. So, mahirap pumili ng favorite. I'm just really grateful na pinapaunlakan tayo lagi ng ating mga atleta dito sa SEAG Live, and wanna let all of them know how much we appreciate them at yung ating mga viewers and all those working behind the camera na kasama natin dito sa SEAG Live. And of course, sa aking mga co-hosts, Sir Sev and the Dean, thank you very much and happy anniversary to us.
Okay, Kinito.
Well, happy Easter and happy anniversary. What a journey this has been, and I'm looking forward to even more years at SEAG Live. Hindi tayo nauubusan ng storya, hindi tayo nauubusan ng very exciting guests. And today, for instance, we had men's volleyball, we had the champion team coach, 15-0. I mean, how great was that achievement? And then we talked about ice hockey, napag-usapan natin yung boxing, and it seems to be flourishing again. We have 2 world champions for the Philippines. And then Coach Tim Cohn sharing a lot of very valuable and very interesting insights with us. That's the kind of, I think, appreciation that we give our guests, because we give them a platform to be able to share with all of our viewers kung anong naiisip nila. And it's something that's always very exciting, very intriguing and interesting. And that's our commitment to Philippine sports, to give all of our viewers, all of you out there, the best possible stories we can generate, and the best possible guests for you to even enjoy sports all the more. So big congratulations to everyone who makes this show possible. The men and women behind SEAG Live, maraming salamat, and congratulations to all of you and all of us for making this show possible. Thanks, Sev. Thanks, Apple.
Gusto ko lang i-shoutout yung isa nating suki na lagi akong mini-message pagka tayo ay on the air, si Julian Lapid, who is such a lover of sports. Thank you for constantly watching. Alam mo ang favorite episode ko? Yung mga episode na hindi ko alam yung sports na pag-uusapan. You cannot imagine the teamwork that we have here. Ano to? Hindi natin alam to. Ano nga? Ako nang bahala rito. Yung tulungan namin, ang nangyayari, we all end up learning a new sport. We end up learning and becoming appreciative of all Filipino athletes who are trying their best for flag and country and for all of us. And hindi lang yung popular sports, kundi kanina na-meet natin ice hockey. Kalahin mo, walang iyelo sa Pilipinas. Nag-ice hockey. Itong mga kahanga-hanga naman sila. So, all the stories will be here on the SEAG Network. We hope to see you in the days to come so that Kinito and Apple and I and all the others who host this will continue to have people that we can share these stories with. Ang mga istorya ng atletang Pilipino na kinikwento natin dito sa SEAG Live. Salamat po. Good night.
Thank you.
Thank you.